It's Mad, along with Goon. Today, I'm going to talk about Anlucia the Lightning or Thunder Brave. Anlucia, do you guys have any resources left? I really don't. But unfortunately, she is one of the best units in the game, and I'll talk to you why in a second. Stay tuned. I know that people are semi annoyed that we have skipped basically 3 to 4 weeks worth of material to go directly to Dragon Quest X. I'm actually one of them right now, and I'm not going to be able to actually do the event because of personal things going on right now. But on top of it, too, we really don't need to be pumping out so much material every month. I know the goal is to make money for the game, etc. But honestly, I'm a little annoyed at it. But let's go to the reviews. I will do each of the unit reviews though as they come out. So let's go. So Anlucia the Lightning. I really like Thunder Brave and Lucia better, but whatever. Increases physical power by 15% for leadership effect. Top tier leadership effect. Personally, I like the hero increased hero by 25%. You're probably going to be using that more as all of the best units now are heroes, but besides the point. Um, she really has four skills. One of them you will build up in the unit builder, just like the other heroes. Um, and honestly, she may be the strongest non hero in the game in JP right now. And even with the newest hero for the 3 year anniversary, and I can't believe it's been 3 years in JP already. She is still in the top five. She was in the top three. Now she is either fourth or fifth, but still a very, very, very strong unit. Her first skill, Unshakable Shield, is a crazy useful skill, especially for Guild Wars defense and even offense for that matter, depending on how you build your team. Generates spaces that reduce damage and increase damage done by 10% around her. So basically, if you draw a cross, three up, down, left, and right, and then connect them with a straight line, you'll create a space that increases damage done by the units inside of it by 10% and reduce their damage by 10%. And you could just tell how really useful that is, especially if you've got a team that can pretty much hunker down in that area and have to draw units towards you. Um, Her second skill is Righteous Radiance, 200% physical damage, and has 40% chance for confuse. Um, Honestly, that may be one of her weakest skills of the four, and it's still a very good skill. If the unit's weak to confuse, it's pretty much a guaranteed hit once you level it up. Divine Dazzle is next, deals major unreflectable zap spell damage, and has a pretty nice range on it as well. With the 2 to 3 range there. And the Royal Sword deals 400% physical damage and heals 30% of the damage. And that healing's really, really important because those skills are good, but people are asking, what makes her so freaking deadly? Her base skill is basically she has 3 applications of what I call guts. But basically, when her HP is 0, instead her HP becomes 1. So if you have something that hits multi, she can still get knocked out. But otherwise, she stands up, and honestly, most units until now in GVG and Guild Wars aren't the massive multi hits that would be enough to take her out completely. but generally at most are only 1 or 2 hits. Um, and so she could stand up. And on her third awakening skill, at HP of 20% or less, she gets 1.5x physical and spell potency. You do have to live on the edge with her, but if you, even if it's just for 1 turn, she can absolutely mess people up, especially with her coup de grace or even like a divine dazzle or royal sword, especially if she's within her unshakable shield. So at that point, you're looking at about a 65% increase in damage, which could go easily into the thousands, even at guild war levels, or PvP arena. At that point, she becomes insanely high damage, but because it's basically when she's near death, that's why she's not on top of the heroes who do more consistent damage always. She's the unit that, there could only be one left, and boom. She's just then going to absolutely wipe the floor with you because you just can't kill her enough, and she could just absolutely dominate you. Her first awakening is just like all the other heroes: attack, defense, wisdom, agility, 3 turns up until turn 10. So on turn 3, when you're usually trying to mop up, if you really then go through that, you're looking at 220%. And turn 5 might even be turn 3 is like, around 220%, I think. Trying to do the math in my head, but I'm failing a little bit. It is absolutely incredible how strong she can become. And in certain aspects, she is the most dangerous unit in the game for 1 turn damage because of that. The other third and fifth, she also gets physical and magical plus 5%. The good news is really her max. Basically, she maxes out at 3 awakenings. You do not need to get her to the 5th. It just buffs up her a little bit, but all in all, pretty powerful. Her HP and defense. She has 1300 HP, 558 defense, attacks 590, with agility of 483. Those stats are absolutely insane with her ability to basically potentially more than double them. And then if you give her an oomph, she's getting close to triple those stats. And that's just where she can just absolutely just go crazy. Her movement's pretty good. Her weight is obviously 65, but her MP is also pretty high up there. This is her full true stats, and then she also has the ability of basically 10% both physical and magical. Absolutely stunning. And if you put in her with a more of a hero group at 25%, you're going through all those things, and her damage can one-shot, if used properly, pretty much any unit in the game. And that's why she is so highly rated. Her hero skill is Big Bang Sword. It goes purple, 400% zap. Then orange, another 200%. On turn 3, she's already probably... unless if you can strip her, at least some of hers with the hero. Otherwise, you're going to see her just do absolute massive damage. So you need to like Zenathian Sword or Zoma Breath her to try to at least limit the damage you're going to be facing against her at that point. And honestly, she is really deadly. And it's one of those that I'm going to hope to get really, really lucky in order to get her. But Um, we shall see. Her preferred weapon is going to be the one that heals her. The more that I thought about it, um, I think this is the key weapon for her. Um, you can, because it gives her a decent amount of attack, some HP. You can get physical power, HP, and agility with her. The one thing that I would say is, unless if you're going for an insane all agility team and one shot, and even then, I think you're wasting Anlucia's power here. I think a higher HP with a little bit more attack, only because maybe you could get to that 20% without getting that first kill first. And all of a sudden, you are cooking with a lot of gas with her. She is not the one that wants to be going first, unless if she's going to put down her field. And even then, unless if you're going to put the field middle of the units and you have like 4 or 5, you're really not really going to want her to be putting down a field so close to your enemy. So at that point, I'm much more focused on HP and attack than I'm agility with her. And just kind of going through my mindset of how to set up a unit. Um, but there are other swords that you can get for her instead, including her weapon. But personally, I'm thinking um, this sword for healing her. It will just make her that much more annoying to go against. And honestly, with her ability to triple damage, I'd rather just keep her alive at the 20% as much as possible, than to just give her that speed. Just because she is really scary at below 20% HP. So our pros, cons. The guts 3 times is insanely powerful, especially when you're playing, doing the playing below 20% HP. Her power just becomes absolutely busted level. And this is why, as I say, she is in the top 5. Um, she is, I believe, with the high. If you've got a lot of high convex, she's still number 5. And if you've got her, if you are lucky just to get her once and you're on a lower level, she's in the 3 to 4 regions. Only because of the 3 times is more powerful. The big and she can keep being survived, but her absolute power is at 3 hearts. What really limits her from being in the top spot is she doesn't have a busted 5th awakening. But honestly, I'm not upset about that because that just reduces temptations to go super deep. Her best power, though, is near death, so she is a risky unit. And status resistance is half, but she is not immune. So she is not like the heroes where you just don't have to worry about status ailments, but it is risky with her. And yes, I am going to pull. Um, she's just too powerful not to. The frustrating thing is the way that we're going. The newest hero that officially I don't know if he's out or will be out. Basically, by the time the video is out here, is probably only a month or 2 away. So, and yeah, I know we're going to have a 2.5 year and a 3 year within span of a quarter of a year here at the rate we're going, and I'm not really super happy about that. Um, it's just she has way too many uses, especially now that I'm in basically platinum nonstop. You need to have multiple ways to attack, and unfortunately, Anlucia the Lightning is just too important. I'm sorry, Thunder Brave Anlucia is just 10 times better sounding. The Orc Queen is the A unit. Healing protection. I don't have the perfect translation for this one. Moderately heals HP and reduces damage taken by 15% for 3 turns. That is honestly a really great spell. Um, the healing is just fine. It's more that the damage reduced being taken by 15% is actually really busted. Um, if you've only got a 35 slot and you've got 3 really strong attackers, the Orc Queen is not a bad unit to put in as the third. Third one can also stop paralysis of an ally within 1 of 3 spaces up to 4 times. And because of that, it has a lot of great uses. You can also do Super Thrust, which deals 50% physical damage to all enemies and moves them back up to 3 squares. Or Blunt, which has a 40% chance to greatly lower power of an enemy. So it has a lot of very annoying uses. But the Orc Queen with the healing protection, that can actually be very, very dangerous. Probably. So you have 2 potential avenues here. You can add another boost like Oomph for Orc Queen. I think that's a little bit overpowered for an A unit, or too much of a use, too expensive of a use. I would rather add an attack or another debuff. Personally, another attack would be useful for Orc Queen, so you have an element. But all in all, it's got decent HP, not the greatest defense, and its attack is pretty good. All in all, it's a decent unit, but other than for basically abusing its healing protection, it's not a great unit in general. But the healing protection is what I want to use it for. So I hope you guys enjoy. I do apologize that I probably am not going to be able to get the event out in time. And honestly, with everything going on, I'm probably not going to be able to do it for at least 2 weeks. And at that point, it's going to be a little bit worthless for everybody. So I do apologize. But currently, this game is being fast-tracked again. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get the units that were skipped, other than the Lawson killing machine. That is definitely a Japan-specific only unit. But, a slime, slurp, was skipped, and I really would like to, at least have it. And it will be semi-annoying because the longer it's delayed, the less even chance of it being used is there. I would have honestly rather have seen it gone earlier, but that's the way it is. So good luck, everyone. I hope you get Anlucia. She is a very, very powerful unit, even though most people in global community have not played Dragon Quest X. She will be a very powerful unit in this game. Thanks, everyone. Bye.